Mr. Speaker. Taking into consideration the findings of the Committee on Appointments in its report on the vetting of nominees for the position of county executive members laid on the table of the House today, Tuesday, April 25th, 2023 at 12:05 p.m. and pursuant to the provisions of Article 179(2)(b) of the Constitution and Section 4 and 7 of the Public Appointments County Assemblies Approval Act, this House approves approves the nomination of the following nominees: Mwanajuma Haboka Hiribai as the CEC member of Lands, Agriculture, Livestock, Veterinary, Fisheries and Cooperative Development. 2, Matthew Baboya Buya as the CEC member for Environment and Climate Change. 3, Stephen Washira Kariuki as the CEC member for Roads, Transport, Public Works, Housing and Urbanization. 4, Abbas Kunya as the CEC member for Education, Youth, Sports, Gender and Social Services. 5, Yahya Ali Boru as the CEC member for Trade, Tourism and Industrialization. 6, Hadija Harufa Algi as the CEC member for Water, Energy, Mining, Wildlife and Natural Resources. 7, Abdullah Hanti Kanchol as the CEC member for Public Service Management, Administration, Devolution, Information and Communication Technology, Protocol and Public Communication. 8, Brenda Mocheche Mokaya as the CEC member for Finance and Economic Planning. 9, Joshua Kofajara as the CEC member for Health, Medical Services and Sanitation. Mr. Honorable members, with me is the report on, I hope everybody has the report. On the preface page, we have members. We have a list of 11 members who took part in this exercise, and I would wish us to go straight to the observations. Having considered the relevant legal provisions, the nominees' credentials, and their submissions, the committee made the following observations. 1, 401, notification of nominees to the public. According to Section 6(2) of the Public Appointments County Assemblies Approval Act, requires the appointing authority to notify members of the public on any proposed nomination. On the 5th April 2023, the Governor, through a press briefing, notified the public of the proposed nominees. 402, appointment of new County Executive Committee. Section 42 of the County Government Act requires the new County Executive Committee to put in place After every general election, it states that when a general election is held for a county government, the outgoing county executive committee shall remain in office until a new county executive committee is considered after the election. 2, the constitution of a new executive committee after an election under subsection 1 shall be finalized within 21 days of the swearing of the members of the county assembly. Subsection 2 of section 42 stipulates the time frame within which a new county executive committee should be put in place. The consideration of the new CC should have been done by 12th October 2022, since the members of the county assembly were sworn in on the 21st September 2022. Despite being late, the of section 42 of the County Governments Act, which requires that the approval of the county assembly for members of the county executive, and section 2 of the Public Appointments County Assemblies Approval Act, which states that the appointment includes any reappointment to the same body, whether or not in the same capacity. The nominees who have been resubmitted includes those who are also being reappointed. 403, on the 1/3 gender rule, the nomination has complied with the 1/3 gender rule as required under section 35(2)(a) of the County Governments Act, which instructs the county assembly not to approve nomination for appointment for the county executive committee that will not take into consideration not more than 2/3 gender rule. Out of the 9 nominees for the county, 3 are female while 6 are male, which represents 1/3 female and 1/3 and 2/3 for males. Suitability of the nominees: 1 on Mwanajuma Aboke Hiribai. According to what has been stated here, she's a Kenyan citizen. The ID number is there. She has complied with her tax obligations. At the time of hearing, no negative report on leadership and integrity has been received from EACC. The nominee is not a beneficiary of Higher Education Loans Board as indicated by certificate of compliance serial number, that is the serial number which is dated on 22nd November 2022. That she has no negative comments on her conduct as indicated in the certificate of good conduct, that is the number which is dated 21st December 2022, that is issued by the Directorate of Criminal Investigation. She is a public officer. She has also no negative credit listing as indicated through that certificate, which is dated 16th April 2023. She has the requisite minimum academic qualification, having graduated with a bachelor's degree, certificate number, that is the number from Kenya Methodist University. She did not demonstrate breach of relevant professional code of conduct. She does not have the requisite experience. And a distinguished career of not less than 5 years in the field relevant to the portfolio of the department to which she is being appointed, and that she was confident and exhibited extensive knowledge and experience relating to the position she has been nominated to. The second candidate, which is Matthew Bagwell, He's a Kenyan citizen, that's his ID number. He has complied with his obligations, having been issued with a compliance certificate. That is the number of the compliance certificate that was issued on 14th April 2023. At the time of hearing, there was no negative leadership integrity report received from CECM. The nominee is a beneficiary of the Higher Loans Board, as is shown through that certificate. And then he has no negative comments about his conduct, as shown through the certificate of good conduct, which is dated 21st September 2022, issued by the DCI. He is a public officer. He has no negative credit listing, as shown in that certificate. He has the requisite minimum academic qualification, as is shown through his certificate from Kenyatta University. He does not demonstrate a breach of relevant professional code of conduct. Then he does not have the requisite experience and a distinguished career of not less than 5 years in the field to the portfolio of the department to which he is being appointed. And finally, he was confident and exhibited extensive knowledge and experience relating to the position he's been appointed to. The third candidate, Stephen Wachira Karinti, is Kenyan citizen, complied with his obligations as issued, as shown on the tax compliance certificate, which was issued on 14th February 2023. At the time of hearing, no negative report on leadership and integrity has been received from USCC. The nominee is not a beneficiary of Higher Education Loans Board, as shown in that certificate. The committee could not verify the criminal conduct history of the nominee, since at the time of hearing, the nominee had not received the certificate of good conduct, which he applied for, and the application number is shown there. He's also a public officer. He has no negative credit listing, as is shown on that Credit Reference Bureau. Limited certificate number is shown there. He also has the requisite minimum academic qualification, having graduated with a bachelor's degree. The number is there from Masinde Muliro University. He did not demonstrate breach of relevant professional code of conduct. He has the requisite experience and distinguished career of not less than 5 years in the field relevant to the portfolio of the department to which he is being appointed to. And finally, he was confident and exhibited extensive knowledge and experience relating to the position he's been nominated to. The fourth one is Mr. Abbas Kunyo Buya. He's also a Kenyan citizen, complied with tax obligations. At the time of the hearing, there was no report from EACC, no reports were received. The nominee is not a beneficiary of Higher Education Loans Board, as shown in that certificate. He has no negative comments on his conduct, as indicated in the certificate of good conduct. That number that was issued on 24th May 2022. He's also a public officer. He has no negative credit listing, as is indicated there. He also has the requisite minimum academic qualification, as shown that he graduated with a bachelor's degree from Nairobi University. He did not demonstrate breach of relevant professional code of conduct. He has the requisite experience and distinguished career of not less than 5 years in the field relevant to the portfolio of the department to which he's been appointed, and he was also confident and exhibited extensive knowledge and experience relating to the position. The fifth one is suitability of Yahya Ali Bora. He's also a Kenyan citizen. He also has complied with his tax obligations. At the time, there was no report about integrity issues from CECM. The nominee is not a beneficiary of higher loans board. He also has no negative comments through his certificate of good conduct. He is a public officer. He has no negative credit listing. He also has the requisite minimum academic qualification, a bachelor's degree from St. Paul's University. However, the certificate has no serial number. He did not demonstrate breach of relevant professional conduct. He does not have the requisite experience and a distinguished career of not less than 5 years in the field relevant to the portfolio he's being appointed to. He was not confident and did not exhibit extensive knowledge and experience relating to the position he's being nominated to. The sixth candidate was Hadija Harufa Algi, who is also a Kenyan citizen, as shown on the ID. She has complied with her tax obligations. She also had no issues with ESCC, no report. The nominee is not a beneficiary of the Higher Education Board. The committee could not verify the criminal conduct history of the nominee, since at the time of hearing, the nominee had not received her certificates of good conduct. She's a public officer. She has no negative credit listing. She also has the requisite minimum academic qualification, that is a bachelor's degree, as shown in the certificate from Nairobi University. She did not demonstrate breach of the relevant professional code of conduct. She does not have the requisite experience and distinguished career of not less than 5 years in the field to which she is being nominated to, appointed. She was confident and exhibited extensive knowledge and experience relating to the position she is being nominated to. The seventh one is Abdullah Hanti Kachora, a Kenyan citizen, has complied with his tax obligations. At the time of hearing, there was no negative report from ESCC. The nominee is not a beneficiary of Higher Education Loans Board, as indicated. He has no negative comments about his, as was proved through his certificate of good conduct. He is neither a state or public officer. He has no negative credit listing. He also has the requisite academic qualification through a bachelor's degree from Mount Kenya University. He did not demonstrate breach of relevant professional code of conduct. He does not have the requisite experience and distinguished career of not less than 5 years in the field to the portfolio to which he is being appointed for. He was confident, but did not exhibit extensive knowledge and experience relating to the position he's been nominated to. Number 8, suitability of Brenda Ukaya. He is a Kenyan citizen, complied with on her tax. She has complied. At the time of hearing, there was no negative report from ECC. The nominee is not a beneficiary of Higher Education Board. She has no negative comments according to the good conduct. She is neither a state nor a public officer. She has no negative credit listing. She has the requisite minimum academic qualification, that is a bachelor's degree from Kabarak University. She did not demonstrate breach of the relevant professional code of conduct. She has the requisite experience and distinguished career of not less than 5 years in the field to which she is being appointed to. She was confident but did not exhibit extensive knowledge and experience relating to the position she is being nominated to. The final candidate, Mr. Speaker, is Kofa Joshua Kofa Jara, a Kenyan citizen, has complied with tax obligations. At the time of hearing, there was no report from CECM, and nominee is a beneficiary of the Higher Education Loans Board. He has no negative comments about his conduct, according to good conduct certificate. He is neither a state or public officer. There are no negative credit list. He has no negative listing credit. He also has the requisite minimum academic qualification, having graduated with a bachelor's degree from the University of Nairobi. However, the certificate has no serial number. He did not demonstrate breach of the relevant professional code of conduct. He was confident and exhibited extensive knowledge and experience relating to the position he is being nominated to. The other item we are reporting on is about performance. According to the performance, after being assessed, according to Section 70 of the Public Appointments Assemblies Act, the nominees scored as follows. Manajuma Hiribai Mabuka Mabuke scored 84%. Matthew Baboya Buya scored 77%. Stephen Washira scored 84%. Abbas Guyo scored 80%. Yahya Ali Boru scored 81%. Hadija Harufa Algi scored 86%. Abdi Hanti Kanchor scored 79%. Brenda Mocheche Mokaya scored 82%. Joshua Kofajara scored 80%. The pass mark being 70%, it is evident that all the nominees succeeded. Recommendations from the committee. Having considered the legal provisions and the submissions of the nominees, the committee hereby recommends that this House approves the nomination of the following nominees. 1. Mwanajuma Haboka Hiribai as the CC of Lands, Agriculture, Livestock, Veterinary, Fisheries, Cooperative Development. 2. Matthew Baboya as the CC member for Environment and Climate Change. 3. Stephen Washira Kariuki as the CC member of Roads, Transport and Public Works, Housing and Urbanization. 4. Abbas Kunyo as the CC member of Education, Youth, Sports, Gender and Social Services. 5. Yahya Ali Boru as the CC member of Trade, Tourism and Industrialization. 6. Hadija Ali Algi as the CC member for Water, Energy, Mining, Wildlife and Natural Resources. Abdullah Hanti Kanchor, the CC member for Public Service, Management, Administration, Devolution, Information, Communication, and Public Communication. Brenda Mocheche Mokaya as the CC member of Finance and Economic Planning, Joshua Kofajada as the CCM for Health, Medical Services and Sanitation. Mr. Speaker, honorable members of the committee on the final page have affixed their signatures to the report, as can be seen. The chairman, Osman Nur Belod, chairperson, Hon. Rhoda Katisha Raha, vice chair, Hon. Jibril Farah is a member, not signed, Hon. Hamid Babusa has signed, Hon. Mahmoud Ali Boru has not signed, Hon. Musa Wario also has not signed, Hon. Fatuma Dirama has signed, Hon. Ismail Bela Kodoba has signed, Hon. Yusuf Abdibile has signed, Hon. Maka Maimuna has signed, Hon. Riziki Hamaro who has signed. This is the report, Mr. Speaker, sir, from the appointment committee. And may I call upon the leader of minority to second.
Is the leader, is the deputy majority leader or the
Deputy majority leader, sorry.
Honorable Babusa? Thank you. Honorable members, I now propose that taking into consideration the findings of the Committee on Appointment in its report on the voting of nominees for the position of County Executive Committee members laid on the table of the House today, Tuesday, April 25th, 2023 at 12:05 p.m. and pursuant to the provisions of Article 179 2B of the Constitution and Section 4 and 7 of the Public Appointments County Assemblies Approval Act, this House approves the nomination of the following nominees. 1. Mwanajuma Haboka Hirbae as the CCM for Lands, Agriculture, Livestock, Veterinary, Fisheries and Cooperative Development. 2. Matthew Baboya Buya as the CEC member for Environment and Climate Change. 3. Stephen Washira Kariuki as the CC member for Roads, Transport, Public Works, Housing and Urbanization. 4. Abbas Kuno Guyo as the CC member for Education, Youth, Sports, Gender and Social Services. 5. Yahya Ali Boro as the CC member for Trade, Tourism and Industrialization. 6. Khadija Harisa Algi as the CC member for Water, Energy, Mining, Wildlife and Natural Resources. 7. Abdullah Hanti Kanchoro as the CC member for Public Service Management, Administration, Devolution, Information Communication Technology, Protocol and Public Communication. 8. Brenda Mocheche Mokaya as the CC member for Finance and Economic Planning. And 9. Joshua Kofajara as the CEC member for Health, Medical Services and Sanitation. Honorable members, the floor is now open for debate. Deputy Majority.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to first and foremost to thank God up to this juncture, and also congratulate my fellow members of the appointment committee for the effort and sleepless nights they had all through this process, and also thank His Excellency Governor Governor for at least listening to this House of Rules and Procedures, as earlier as we all know that earlier he brought 3 members, only 3 nominees to be vetted in 3 departments. And we vetted those 3 nominees and disapproved them, and also advised the governor himself to bring the full list. And therefore, as the deputy majority leader, I applaud his decision of bringing the full list. And I think this is the only way that we can run this county by following the rules and procedures laid down. And also, I didn't want to speak much on this, but also wish all the approved CECMs, to wish them luck in their forthcoming duties, and also say that things will not be the same this time. Mr. Speaker, I think we know that this county is at the verge of poverty, at the verge of all kind of inhuman conditions. This is because of lack of goodwill among the people who own the various offices. And also, I'd like to send a message, a polite message to His Excellency, that this House has the powers to approve nominees, and this House has the powers to disapprove nominees. When this House decides to approve nominees, is just because of the good people of this county. At the same time, this House has the powers to impeach any CECM who is going, who is not going to work as according to the stipulated rules. So, whenever a CECM is impeached by this esteemed House, that decision should be upheld and also be respected by not only other CECM, but also the governor himself. We've seen scenarios in the Second Assembly where a CECM is impeached. At the same CECM is transferred to another department. And I'm saying this, and I want this to go to the public domain. Today, I'm speaking for the government, but a day will come, I will speak against the government because of our people. I will speak for the government because of our people. I will speak against the government because of our people, without fear or favor, without any kind of segregation, because we have realized that it is high time that Tana River County change, and also even the other counties, when they hear of maybe Tana River County, they should also say something. When someone is asked about Tana River County, should also say something positive. Right now, today, the governor called and said that we are ranked number 46 out of 47 in terms of development. Tana River County is ranked number 46 out of 47. So the question is, where is the challenge? Is it that God is not with us? Is it that God does not love us? Is it that have resources to develop our county? Is it that the county government is not receiving resources from the national government? Those are questions that are supposed to be answered by the leaders of this county. And the people are watching. People are expecting a lot from us. The people who have voted for us in the specific words, they know that we are going to deliver. And another message to the CECMs who are going to be approved by this house. They should not take the third assembly for granted. They should not take the third assembly for granted. I know, we know very well that we have only 3 roles as the members of this assembly. Representation, representing our people, legislation, and what? Oversight. But we are going to add another role, locking offices. If you want a deliver as the CCM, we will be looking to those offices and locking those doors. When you come in the morning, you are there to that office with big chairs, big computers, AC, furnished offices. We'll be looking them. So, if you are a CECM, do your work. And we'll be waiting. We are eagerly waiting for the list of the chief officers. Now, I don't want to speak much on the list of the chief officers, but we are waiting because we know mostly these CECMs, they are policymakers. But the chief officers are accounting officers. We are waiting. So, we are going to add a 4th role in our mandate, locking offices. If you want to be in your office, we will be working to those offices and locking your offices. If you are an arrogant CECM, try us this time. If you think that you are better than these honorable members of this house, or maybe the people who voted for us, try us this time. If you think that we are supposed to gather with, to construct story buildings, to buy cars, and forsake our people, try us this time. We won't spare anyone who we have voted, who we have the power to impeach. We are going to impeach anyone who is going to work contrary to the vision of this 3rd assembly. Our vision here is to deliver for our people. Tana can do better. And it's high time that we as leaders of this 3rd assembly will unite together and at least show our people that indeed Tana can do better. So, I just want to take this opportunity to wish the best of luck to the CCMs, but our eyes will always be in those different offices. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mheshimiwa Minority Leader, before you proceed, for guidance purposes, Deputy Majority Leader, you cannot add yourself a 4th role, but you can place the knocking of the door under the oversight or the presentation. It can fit in both. Honorable Minority Leader, you can proceed.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika, nimesimama pia kuunga ripoti hii mkono. Mheshimiwa Spika, ni kazi yetu, maana tulichaguliwa. Mimi hata singependa kupigiwa makofi. Mheshimiwa Spika, ni kazi yetu, tunafanya wajibu wetu ambao kwamba ya kikatiba, kwamba kupitisha ama kuangusha. Mheshimiwa Spika, tuliangusha watu kadhaa, mawaziri na maafisa, lakini Mheshimiwa Spika, tukiwaangusha ama tukapitisha, Mheshimiwa Spika, kupitisha si ati kwamba wote wamehitimu. Mheshimiwa Spika, tunawapitisha kwa sababu ile mahojiano tuliyofanyia, Mheshimiwa Spika, walifanya vizuri katika mahojiano, lakini si ati walifanya vizuri katika ile kazi walipewa awali. Mheshimiwa Spika, Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nimetofautiana na wenzangu katika committee appointment, lakini Mheshimiwa, unaambiwa wengi wape. Wengi wakikubali, Mheshimiwa Spika, hakuna budi ila kukubaliana na wao. Maana yake hata mkija hapa kwa mjadala, wao ni wengi, watakushinda. Lakini Mheshimiwa Spika, si ati tunapitisha kwa sababu wote hapa wamehitimu ama wanafaa zaidi. Mheshimiwa Spika, kama wangefaa awali wakati walipewa mamlaka. Lakini Mheshimiwa Spika, waliokosea wakazi wa Tana, lakini tukasema kwamba waongezewe mara pili ili tuangalie wataendeleza vipi. Pengine atakuwa wakati ile pengine wenye hawana ile uzoefu, lakini mara hii tuna imani kwamba wakipewa mara pili watakuwa na ile uzoefu. Mheshimiwa Spika, katika hawa watu ambao kwamba tumefanyia mahojiano, Mheshimiwa Spika, nafikiri ni watu 9. Mheshimiwa Spika, Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nilikuwa na dukuduku ama nilikuwa na tofauti katika hao wote, lakini kuna mmoja hapa Mheshimiwa Spika, ilikuwa kidogo nilikuwa na tofauti na wenzangu, na hiyo tofauti Mheshimiwa Spika, si ati nimesimama kwamba aangushwe, lakini Mheshimiwa Spika, ninavyojua huyu Mheshimiwa Joshua Jara, mimi lazima nigusie. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, ni upande wetu hii, ni upande ambapo Mheshimiwa Spika, minority amegomba ni wapinzani. Lazima tuwe na kasoro, hatuwezi kunyamaza. Lazima tuzungumze wakazi wa Tana usikie. Mheshimiwa Joshua Jara, tayari hii wizara ya afya Mheshimiwa Spika imedorora. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, na gavana ameleta mtu ambaye kwamba yule mtu ameletwa, sisi tulikuwa tunatarajia alete mtu ambaye kwamba ana ile utaaluma, ana ile tajriba ya mambo ya afya Mheshimiwa Spika, lakini tumeletewa mtu ambaye kwamba hana ile ujuzi ama hana ile Mheshimiwa Spika uzoefu mkubwa ya hiyo mambo ya afya Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, tunamwambia ni onyo kwake, tunamwambia Mheshimiwa Spika, akienda pale tukimsaidia kumapprove, akienda kikuwa waziri wa afya, lazima arekebike. Mheshimiwa Spika, ahakikishe kwamba hii sekta afya Mheshimiwa Spika, huduma inakuwa anahakikisha kwamba iboreshe huduma, si akienda pale aharibu. Maana Mheshimiwa Spika, hapo na sifa ya Mheshimiwa Spika, hawezi kutumia upole, hana ile diplomasia Mheshimiwa Spika. Hizo tabia mtu, lakini lazima tuwe diplomasia Mheshimiwa Spika, wakati ana handle hawa staff wa hospitali Mheshimiwa Spika, ama hawa madaktari Mheshimiwa Spika. Alafu Mheshimiwa Spika, bado wakitumia nguvu kama vile alikuwa anatumia nguvu wakati alikuwa secretary. Mheshimiwa Spika, tusitarajie chochote Mheshimiwa Spika, bali tutarajie wakati mgumu zaidi ya hii sasa. Mheshimiwa Spika, na upande wa speech wa Mheshimiwa Spika, ningependa kupatia nasaha pia wana gavana. Gavana tulipatia, kuna wakati kuna waziri tulimpeach Mheshimiwa Spika. Baada ya impeachment Mheshimiwa Spika, ni haki yake kwenda kotini, kwenda kutafuta ile haki. Lakini Mheshimiwa Spika, mara hii hatutakubali mtu akifanywa impeachment Mheshimiwa Spika, wakati akienda kotini ni akae kando, asikue kama chief officer ama waziri mpaka ile kesi ishe Mheshimiwa Spika. Si ati wewe uko ushafanywa impeachment, uko ofisini na bado unaendelea kufanya uporaji au unaendelea kuharibu zaidi. Mara hii tunasini gavana yule yoyote ambaye kwamba tunafanyia impeachment, kwanza akae kando mpaka ile kesi yake ikiisha. Kesi ikiisha, kama mahakama anasema kwamba hana hatia, aje aregelee kwa ile kazi yake. Lakini mahakama ikisema kwamba anakosa, ni anaenda kabisa. Si ati umeenda kotini, unapewa stay order, unakuja kuharibu zaidi Mheshimiwa Spika. Hiyo mara nyingi Mheshimiwa Spika tunakataa. Tuko tayari hata kususia Mheshimiwa Spika. Waziri kama huyo ama chief officer kama huyo Mheshimiwa Spika, hatuwezi tukaita pembele committee kuja kufanya mahojiano na yeye. Bali Mheshimiwa Spika hatutamtambua. Maana hafai tu Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hivyo Mheshimiwa Spika, hili onyo tunapeana. Si ati tunapitisha ndio waone kwamba wamefika Mheshimiwa Spika. Bado Mheshimiwa Spika tutawaita, na kama hawafanyi kazi vile vinavyotakikana tutawasama Mheshimiwa Spika, na kama tutapata na kosa Mheshimiwa Spika, vigilant ni kama kawaida. Na gavana pia tuelewe na yeye. Lazima aheshimu hii nyumba. Tulimheshimu, maoni yake pia tumekubali kwa sababu ni gavana, na hii kaunti haiwezi kaenda kama hakuna uwiano ama ushirikiano baina hii assembly na executive. Mheshimiwa Spika, sisi tunamheshimu na tumekubaliana na yeye ili amepata ataka usaidizi kwa maslahi ya wakazi wa Tana River, lakini yeye pia wakati tukiamua kuvurusha ama kufanya impeachment mtu fulani, naye akubaliane na sisi, maana tunampichi mtu kama huyo, si kwa sababu maslahi yetu, kwa sababu maslahi ya wananchi wa Tana River. Kwa hivyo naye afuate sheria, anahakikisha mtu kama huyo anamwandikia barua, wacha yeye andike barua kwamba asifahamishe ule waziri wa chief officer aende kotini. Koti kimruhusu ni sawa, tunafanya kazi na yeye, lakini kama hajaruhusiwa aende. Lakini wakati hiyo muda, Mheshimiwa Spika, lazima kae kando, asihandle any transaction. Kama chief officer kwa chini accounting officer akae kando mpaka ile kesi ishe. Kwa hivyo Mheshimiwa Spika, tunapitisha, mimi nimesimama kuunga mkono hii ripoti, na licha ya kuunga ripoti mkono Mheshimiwa Spika, pia nasaha kwa hao mawaziri wetu wapitisha, wasione hii ndio mwisho. Bado watakuja kuitwa hapa na bado safari inaendelea, ndio wanaanza safari, wasione kwamba wamefika, bado ndio wanaanza, na hii safari ni ndefu. Time wote tutaweza tukaita tukaleta mabadiliko. Kwa hivyo Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nasema asante, na pia ningependa kumshukuru naibu wa spika kwa kuleta hii kuja kuweka hii table, hii report kwa hii table. Kwa hiyo mimi nasema asante.
Kwa basi
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, first and foremost, I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate the Committee on Appointment for a tremendous job they have done. It wasn't a simple work. It was very tiresome process. We say thank you for a good job. Secondly, I take also this opportunity to congratulate the nominees for the various positions that we are going to approve herein. But our approval doesn't mean they are going to take us back where they have been doing the wrong things to Tana River County. We need the service delivery to our people from various departments. But there is an observation that I've seen, the combination of cabinet lacks youthful representation, but I think that deficit will be covered on appointment of county chief officers. For that reason, I say thank you very much.
when you begin, you either say you support or you approve.
I'm totally support the report.
Thank you. Honorable Joaquin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, first and foremost, may I take this opportunity to congratulate the Committee on Appointment for such amazing report, Mr. Speaker, and I stand to support the report, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, having said that, I just wish to mention one or two things. The issue number one, Mr. Speaker, is that when these nominees were brought to this House, Honorable Said Kuli and myself were receiving so much complaints from the persons with disabilities community, Mr. Speaker, mentioning that there was no person with disability in the nomination, Mr. Speaker. However, Mr. Speaker, it is my responsibility as well as a leader to look at each and every nomination or decision having done at any given point, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we got time to peruse that whole list and those whole nominees in our Kamkunjis as persons with disabilities, Mr. Speaker. And we said we just support this list, Mr. Speaker, but of course with two reasons. Reason number one, Mr. Speaker, is that there are no county chief officers, nominees that were brought to this House. So it is our appeal to the governor on that that notice that in the chief officers nominee list,
Honorable Kim Shen, are you implying that there is no representation in the CEC regarding people who are differently able? Is that what you are trying to say?
Mr. Speaker, I know that is where I was going to my second point as part of the discussion, Mr. Speaker, and I will answer that question clearly. That as per now, and as per the all legal standing orders of this nation, yes, there is no. And I have all the reasons that I will mention, Mr. Speaker, when I come to the second point, to why all persons with disabilities, we agreed to support this list. If you can permit me to continue. Thank you. So on the second point, Mr. Speaker, about the non-representation of persons with disabilities in the committee executive members, as we were discussing, we came to notice that one of the CEC members, that is Harufa Albi, has gotten some complications, Mr. Speaker, that has given her a temporary disability status. So having that, Mr. Speaker, because we looked and interrogated on the disability status of the CEC, Mr. Speaker, we found that she was not yet registered during that time as a person with disability, because there are so many processes that a person is supposed to be declared as a person with disability, including having been given a registration number from the National Council for Persons with Disabilities. But because of that, Mr. Speaker, we were convinced that no matter, even if the disability status is temporarily or will come to be confirmed permanent by that juncture, but by the value that she knows how a person with disability feels when a certain part of the body is not with you, we acknowledged that she is part of us, yet not yet confirmed, Mr. Speaker. So on those 2 points, we said we support the list, be it that at least we have a partial representative in the cabinet, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, looking at the style of the nomination, Mr. Speaker, I would like just to give my personal overview. That despite that the whole list, and I believe that this House is going to approve, Mr. Speaker, it's not that the CEC, especially the first 6, that they're very much smart, Mr. Speaker, or they have performed very well for the reappointment, Mr. Speaker. But rather, Tana River has lagged behind, Mr. Speaker. We were supposed to have done this since October last year, Mr. Speaker, but this is April, just approaching May. So, Mr. Speaker, it is just my warning that to these CECs, the 6 plus the 3 new Speaker, that this is the third assembly. And the third assembly, Mr. Speaker, we are youthful. We are very energetic, Mr. Speaker. So they should just watch at a very cautious manner that we are not going to relax back, but rather to see service delivery to the community of Tana River County. So, Mr. Speaker, having said all this notes, and I
kusema lazima kuwe na agenda. Napenda pia kumpongeza gavana kuweka majina hayo matatu katika list hiyo, wa mama kuwa hapo ndani. Na napenda kuambia kina mama katika ile list kuna watu 9 katika wale ambao wametokea katika ile list. Ikiwa leo watapita mchujo huu ama watapitishwa, wajue kuwe katika watu 9 wale wamama wako watatu peke yao, na katika hao watu watatu peke yao, wanawake peke yao, ni wajue kuwa wanategemewa na wamama wote Tana River hii. Wamama wote katika kaunti hii wote wanawategemea, na endapo leo wakipita, wajue watachaguliwa kwa kura. Watachaguliwa kwa kura, na wajue hii kura inayopigwa hapa kwa assembly si ile kura ya mwezi wa 8 ambayo ukipigiwa utatolewa baada ya miaka 5. Ikiwa watachaguliwa, wajue ndio wamechaguliwa kufanyia kazi kina mama na kufanyia kazi kaunti nzima. Na wajue kura ile ile ambayo pengine itawapitisha siku hii ya leo, ikiwa wataenda kule watazembea, watalala, wataingia ofisini saa 3 saa 4, kura hiyo hiyo ndio itawatoa. Kwa hiyo napenda kuwakumbusha kuwa tumewachagua waende wachape kazi. Pia napenda kuongeza kuwa list ile yote ambayo Mungu akijalia ikipita leo, sisi tumeingia ni bunge la 3, na tunapenda kuacha historia. Hatutaki kuacha historia zile ambazo zilikuwa tukipitia mtaani nini. Tunaomba endapo sitaingia 2027 niambiwe bunge lile la 3 nilifanya kazi, nilikuwa nikifanya hivi. Na kufanya kazi ni hawa mawaziri wachape kazi kwa jamii. Wahakikishe zile kazi ambazo zinatakana kufanyika kule wao wanazifanya. Na pia ningependa kuongeza kuwa nilimsikia Mheshimiwa Darwesh akiweka misimamo mikali. Hiyo misimamo ni kweli. Hiyo misimamo itabidi tuongeze. Na nimemwona Darwesh akiongeza moja. Kwa sababu ugatuzi ulianza toka 2013. Na sheria ilikuwa ni 3 peke yake. Namuona anaongeza ya 4. Mimi ninaomba kama mama na ambaye nataka leo kama mawaziri watachaguliwa, ikiwa tumechagua waziri na yuko department fulani, hiyo department tuweke pesa kama hiyo department inazembea kufanya kazi. Kwa sababu hata tukisema tutalock na tumeweka pesa, afadhali tusiweke pesa, ile pesa tupeleke kama ni kwa barabara, kama inafanya kazi, kwa sababu tunaiona. Kama hiyo department inafanya ni kwa waziri, kwa sababu hapo mahali pamekaa hakuna shughuli. Kwa hivyo mimi ninaomba, nitakuwa mstari wa mbele. Ikiwa leo mawaziri leo mtapita, muende mfanye kazi, kwa sababu mimi mwenyewe sitapitisha hiyo pesa ambayo itatengewa kwa hiyo department ya waziri ambaye analala, anatumia mafuta ya kaunti yetu, anaenda huku na hajali maslahi ya wananchi. Asante.
Thank you. Honorable Ahmed Barad.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support the report. I also thank the committee which has been working since several days ago, and also thank the county governor who did his best to submit a list that at least included the gender issues. been said. I don't want to say also what has been said, but a few things also to recommend, like the other said, business will not be as usual. As CEC, who was there for the former regime, should change to this regime, which means they should do their work, they should do their assignment, they should take Tana to the next step. We don't want here again Tana to be the last, and we want to be the either number 1 or number 2 this time, not even number 2, number 1. Because we interview people with the professionalism, experience, and all the capacity. We MCS, we are ready. The governor is ready. Why should we take Tana to be the last? So this is a question to ask ourselves. So all of us ready? We need to take Tana to the second step. The other thing is, this message goes to His Excellency Governor also. Personally, from the community I come from, I feel neglected. Minority groups were not included. And I request again, this is a request I'm putting across, that the communities should be considered, ethnic balance should be done at the remaining positions. We are in Tana River, and several other communities are left. Instead, they could balance the communities, and they deserve to be the part of these committees, or maybe the members who were shortlisted. The other thing is, there are officers who are coming, the chief officers. I also put this across to the governor's office, that the chief officers should be matching with their sectors. For example, somebody with the IT or communication taken to help will be a disaster. 3 sectors are very important to be considered the field that the person is qualified. One is health, education, and also water. Very important sectors that we need the chief officers to have that field qualified when they are taken to that docket. Other thing I want to also recommend is, much has been said, and the CECs also say this time they will change and they will go to field visiting the project, and also there are wards which are neglected for the last 10 years for the betterment of the community. These wards should be part and parcel of Tana River. Why I'm saying this? Some of the wards, last 10 years, nothing has been done in terms of development. We have Tana River flowing, people are suffering for food insecure. We have the farms, we have the water, we have everything. Only that, the technical know-how, the machinery, and maybe the professionalism is not there in the villages. So these people who are put in place, like the CEC and the chief officers, should go to the ground and change what is there. Food insecurity in my ward is very high. I don't know why. I don't know. We always depend on relief food. We maybe depend on cash transfers and all this. Why do we have the river Tana flowing throughout the year? So kindly, I also put this across to the sectors that will, the CECs and the chief officer sectors that will be in place, that this time they should pull up their socks and take the Tana to the next level. Otherwise, I congratulate the committee and the governor. At least now we are somewhere, and let's be hurry also to bring the list of the chief officers so that we have a complete government. Thank you very much. I support the report.
Thank you, Honorable Fan Malima Kantuna.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika, nimesimama kupongeza hoja hii. Asanteni sana komiti ya appointment pia kwa kazi nzuri mliofanya. Mawaziri wanaopitishwa na wapatia onyo. Nimesimama kidogo niwapatie onyo. Sisi tumefanya haraka kupitisha mawaziri. Si eti ni mambo mengine. Tumeona Tana River hali yake vile iko. Wananchi wa Tana River wanateseka. Na wakiambiwa mawaziri hawapitishwe ajili ya mabunge ama MCA ndio hawapitishi. Kwa bahati nzuri gavana amefanya bidii, ameleta mawaziri kwa usawa na sisi tumefanya bidii tunawapitisha. Sasa nyinyi mawaziri mkipitishwa, msiende mkalalia kazi yenu. Mtu akienda akilalia hiyo kazi, wananchi bado wakiwa wanalalamika, wewe umepitishwa, usifikirie umepitishwa, mambo yako yameisha. Hii nyumba ndio bado itakurudisha. Hatuwezi tukakubali wananchi walalamike, wewe umestareheke, umechukua pesa, unachukua gari kubwa ya black, ufungui kioo yako umepandisha. Mtu wa Tana River anahangaika kutafuta maji, mtu wa Tana River anahangaika kwa shida yote. Wananchi wa Tana River wanahangaika, tuko na shida. Uchungu ndio inatufanya tuongee. Watu wa Tana River wasihangaike tena. Mawaziri mfanye kazi kwa usawa bila kabila. Sisi tumesimama na nyinyi bila kuangalia kabila na ametoka mlango gani. Na nyinyi pia simameni hivyo hivyo, wasaidiane wananchi wa Tana River pate kupumzika. Asanteni.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa Said Kuri. Please do have a mic. Okay, proceed.
Thank you, Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, nami nasimama kuunga mkono hii list ya CECM. Mheshimiwa Spika, vile wenzangu wametangulia kusema, kama mheshimiwa kutoka Sala Shabini alizungumza kwamba hizo doke tatu ni muhimu sana. Mheshimiwa Spika, Mheshimiwa Spika, katika hizo tatu zote especially health ndio kila kitu. Mheshimiwa Spika, hapo mwanzo nafikiri komiti yetu ya appointment kiongozwa na Mheshimiwa Spika wetu, nafikiri kumepita sintofahamu kidogo ya kwamba kuna wengine hawaperform katika kazi yao, lakini pamoja na hayo tukaahidi wacha tuwapitishe, na baada ya kupitisha tuangalie kila mmoja vile atafanya kazi yake. Mheshimiwa Spika, na baada ya hapo I hope hii nyumba leo umeandika kazi hii nyumba ndio tutapeleka nyumbani. Mheshimiwa Spika, tunaomba Mheshimiwa Gavana asitumie nafasi ama asitumie advantage. Ikiwa mtu amekosea, amezembea kazini, na sio kusingizia. Kama mtu amezembea, lazima ndio nyumbani kwa sababu ameshindwa na doketi yake ama ameshindwa na kazi yake. Na once tukifanya hiyo kazi, tunaomba Mheshimiwa Gavana tuwe na ushirikiano. Si hata ametufanya kama vile amefanya hapo mwanzo wakati tumemwimpeach waziri wa health, kwa sababu nakumbuka ile miaka 5 iliyopita nilikuwa katika komiti ya budget. Mheshimiwa Spika, na katika department na mambo iko na mgao mkubwa ni health. Budget yao haikuishi chini ya bilioni 1. Mheshimiwa Spika, lakini ukiangalia utastaajabu. Mheshimiwa Spika, mwanamke anaweza kujifungua kule nje kwa floor. Sasa unashangaa hivi pesa yote zinaenda wapi? Ikiwa kwa hospitali hakuna madawa, hakuna maendeleo, hakuna chochote. Ndio kitu kinachangaza sana. Mheshimiwa Spika, na hawa watu kama watatumia nafasi ya advantage kama wengine walivyofanya hapo mwanzo, sidhani hata kama Mwenyezi Mungu anaweza akawasamehe. Lazima watapata kibaki ya Mwenyezi Mungu. Lakini sisi pia tunaomba ushirikiano wao, tufanye kazi sote, lengo letu ni moja. Tana River tutasaidia vipi? Mheshimiwa Spika, ni pande ya maji.
Nafikiri nishawahi kuzungumza katika hii nyumba kuhusu maji. Mpaka hata nikasema wakati huo nafikiri Mheshimiwa Mahmud Gabo ndio alikuwa chairman wa WATA wakati huo. Niliwaambia ni kama wale wazee wetu wa zamani, babu na mababu, kuna kitu walifanya katika ardhi. Tuko na mtu hapa, lakini angalia ile shida tuko nayo Mheshimiwa Spika. Lazima watu waangalie vile watafanya hiyo kazi. Mheshimiwa Spika, hiyo ndio onyo langu na maombi yangu, na ikifika wakati, naomba members tusiweke ukabila. Vile leo tumeona hawa watu wote bila kuangalia huku na huku tumepitisha, na ikifika wakati mtu amezembea kazi yake, akishapata tu kwamba amekwetiwa, amepata barua kwamba ameajiriwa, aanze kufanya vile anataka, sidhani Mheshimiwa kama nitasimama hata kama ni peke yangu kupiga katika hii nyumba. Naomba wenzangu pia wasimame tupitishe, lakini wawe na onyo kama hiyo, kwamba wasichukulie sisi kwamba tumewapatia kazi kama na kama ni granted. Asante sana Mheshimiwa.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kunipa hii fursa ili mimi niweze kuchangia kwa uchache mambo ambayo yanahusiana na kupitishwa kwa hawa mawaziri. Sisi kama oversight ama wanaoangazia kujua matumizi ya serikali ya kaunti, tumeweza kupata shida kubwa katika kuangazia kujua serikali inavyofanya kazi. Kwanza ninasimama kuunga hoja na unga mkono hoja hii. Hatukuweza kupata fursa nzuri ya kufanya kazi yetu ya kuangazia mambo ya serikali, yani oversight, kwa sababu serikali imekuwa centralized, yani imekuwa katika ngazi moja tu ndio inafanya kazi ya mambo ya fedha. Sehemu wizara zote zingine zilikuwa dormant. Ni hali tungeweza kutaka kuona imebadilishwa na mawaziri wamepewa uwezo wa kufanya kazi, that is autonomous, yani wapewe uwezo wa wao kufanya kazi katika wizara zao, katika kila mtu aweze kufanya katika wizara yake bila kusimamiwa na mwingine. Wengine wamekuwa maprefect ya wengine wanasimamia wengine katika makazi zao. Hii imefanya kaunti hii kuweza kudorora. Wacha kila mtu abebe mzigo wake. Mtu ambaye ni wa fedha afanye mambo ya fedha na apeane wizara pesa zao, na kila wizara ijifanyie kazi yake. Ikiwa sasa kazi yetu sisi ya oversight ya kuangalia na kuangazia mambo ya serikali itakuwa ni rahisi, sababu tuko na kamati hapa zenye nguvu ambazo zinaweza kuangalia hizi wizara na kazi zake. Lakini wakati waziri yuko pale na yeye hana uwezo wowote wa kujibu maswali ya komiti, kwa sababu yeye kuna mmoja ambaye hapo juu yake, yeye anayemsimamia ndiye anayejua mambo hayo, ambaye ni wa finance. Hii mambo tunataka ikome kabisa kwa hii serikali, kwa sababu kazi yetu sisi kama oversight inakuwa rahisi kabisa tunapoangazia kila wizara katika hali yake na ina uwezo na uhuru wa kujifanyia kazi. Kama hiyo haitokuwa, kazi yetu bado itabakia kuwa vile vile, na mzozo wa sisi na gavana haitokoma. Ili kukomesha hayo, tunataka kila wizara, kila waziri apewe mambo yake na afanye kazi yake. Tunapokuja pia kuchagua wale CEOs ndio wenye pesa mkononi, hao pia waweze kuangaziwa vizuri na kamati wakati ambapo wataletwa, ili tuweze kupata watu ambao wanaelewa kazi ya hiyo wizara. Saa hizi tumepeleka watu ya administration, skill management katika mambo ya health, tumepeleka vitu keholela, yani tuseme hatukuangazia kujua huyu mtu hiyo tabrika yake hiyo mahali aliposomea ndio inamwezesha yeye kuweza kufanya kazi yake. Tumewachagua watu kiholela, tukawapeleka ofisi ambazo hawajasomea, basi itakuwa kazi yetu ina ugumu fulani, na huo ugumu umesababisha sisi katika nyumba leo. Lakini hiyo sio sababu ya kuweza wale watu kuweza kuzombea, kwa sababu waliomba hiyo kazi na mtu alijielewa kwamba anaweza fanya na akaapishwa hapa ndani ya hii nyumba kwamba hiyo kazi ataiweza. So sisi hatutodili na watu ambao hawana uwezo. Safari iliyopita waziri wa mambo ya barabara alikuwa yeye hana uwezo, ameenda akazama. Aliyekuwa na uwezo ni chief officer wake. Kazi yetu kama county, kama oversight imekuwa ngumu. Amezama kwa sababu hana signature, hana uwezo, amekuwa sabotage. Yani amekuwa sabotage na yule yuko chini yake ndio ana uwezo. So hapo inamaanisha wewe ni waziri puppet, yani waziri tu umewekwa pale kama chombo na usaidii chochote. Na uwezo sasa, wacha tuwape hawa watu uwezo wao. Kila mtu apewe uwezo wake kama waziri, afanye kazi yake. Afanye kazi yake na uhuru na afanye kazi yake na uwezo wake aliopewa na katiba na County Government Act na sheria ambazo ziko katika hii dunia. Sisi kama oversight, jamani, muda mrefu county government yetu hii haikuwa ikifanya kazi sana sana. Katika tutazungumza sana mambo ya hospitali, kwa sababu hospitali yetu sasa hizi watu wanakuja na mattresses wanalala chini kutoka majumbani. Hii inamaanisha ilivyodorora huduma katika hospitali zetu. Health center zetu hazina madawa kwa miaka 3 sasa. No drugs. Mtu anaandikiwa aende chemist. Sijui kidawa zimeenda kuuzwa chemist kule za serikali, zimepelekwa huko ndio watu wanaambiwa wakanunue tena ama ni nini? Tutakuwa wakali kwa sababu ya watu wetu. Tutaenda na haki kwa sababu ya watu wetu. Hawa watu tuliwachagua ni watu 9 peke yao. Hebu angalia wimbo wa Tana na watu 9. Kama mtu ni kujitafutia utajiri na ajisaidie yeye, tutamuonyesha mlango wa kutokea, aende zake kule akanyoe watoto wake nywele huko nyumbani. Tunaweza onekana sisi saa hizi tumekasirika hapa tunapoongea. Na ni kweli tumekasirika kwa sababu huduma wanaohudumia watu wetu imekuwa ziada, imekuwa haina haki. So tunataka haki itendeke katika hii county na watu wetu waweze kupata usaidizi. Sisi tuna meno ya kuuma hapa, lakini haya meno tukiyaficha na tusiweze kuuma, inamaanisha ya kwamba sisi ndio tunafanya county idorore. Sisi ndio tunafanya watu wetu wasisaidike. So tusimame imara kama waheshimiwa. Sisi tumetumwa hapa, ni watumishi wa umma. Umma waliotutuma hapa wanatarajia mabadiliko kwa hii assembly ya 3 ambayo tunajisifu kwamba tuna vijana. Haya, ujana huu si nguvu itatusaidia nini peke yake, nguvu ya ujana ikiwa bado watu wetu wana shida huko mitaani. We have money, tuko na pesa ambayo inaweza kuingia kwa mifuko ya watu wetu na ikasaidia wao, lakini pesa hizi hawazioni. Kwa haya mengi ama machache, mimi ninaunga mkono hoja hii na kusema ya kwamba jamani, tujaze titi, tuhakikishe watoto wanafaidika na hii kaunti. Asante.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kunipa hii nafasi. Kwanza nimepongeza Secretariat na ile kamati ambayo imefanya hii kazi kubwa. Hii kazi haikuwa rahisi, lakini tumeshukuru kwamba imefanyika na leo tuko hapa tunazungumza. Mimi nimesimama kuunga mkono hii hoja. Mheshimiwa Spika, sisi ndio Tana River na tumeona vile ambavyo watu wetu wameteseka, tumeona vile ambavyo watu wetu wamedhalalika. Tana River vile imebaki nyuma kwa muda mrefu, na vile watu wetu wanapata shida huko chini, na sisi tuko na uwezo. Ni lazima kama viongozi tusimame wima. Leo tumewapatia nafasi mawaziri na ni lazima wafanye kazi kulingana na vile sisi tunataka. Na mara nyingi sisi kwa tunalalamika, waheshimiwa. Hakuna kulalamika. Lazima sasa tupashe makali, tufanye kazi kulingana na vile inatakikana. Sababu kila wakati tunawaangalia tu ama ukabila ama kwa sababu huyu ni mtu wangu, huyu ni nani, watu wetu kule chini wanateseka. Kwa hivyo kwa vile leo tumewapitisha ama tunawapitisha, ni lazima wafanye yale ambayo yanatakikana. Ni lazima wafanye kazi. Hatuwezi kukubali kuona yale yanayofanyika kule chini. Njaa, maji na pesa kila mara inaingia. Kwa hivyo mimi nimeshukuru sana waheshimiwa, Mheshimiwa Spika. Viongozi ndio wana macho ya kuona yale yanayofanyika, na sisi ndio macho ya watu wetu. Kwa hivyo lazima sisi tutumie macho yetu, tuhakikishe kwamba watu wetu kule wamesaidika. Si wewe uko hapa unapata pesa, ukienda kule chini unaogopa hata kutembea kijijini kwa sababu ya yale ambayo hayafanyiki, yale ambayo yanatakikana. Kwa hivyo mimi kwa haya machache nimesema asante sana na nimewapongeza sana nyote. Asanteni.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kunipatia nafasi hii. Nimesimama kuunga mkono hao mawaziri ambao wameletwa hapa leo. Ya kwanza kabisa, Mheshimiwa Spika, ningependa kushukuru kamati ya Appointment Committee. Alafu pia ninawashukuru wenzangu ambaye kwamba wametangulia kuunga mkono hoja hii. Mheshimiwa Spika, makini yangu itakuwa ni machache zaidi kwa sababu ningependa tu kuwaeleza hao mawaziri ambao kwamba ni watarajiwa wajaribu kuangazia sehemu ya wali iwapo yatapata hii nafasi, kwa sababu Mheshimiwa Spika, ni sub-county ambayo kwamba ni mpya na inahitaji mambo mengi. Unajua tu ni mpya, lazima itakuwa na shughuli nyingi Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hiyo kwa hayo wachache ningependa tu kwa awali na kuwasihi watu watachaguliwa basi waende wote ule wale wajue ni shida gani amekuwa kwa sasa sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
Thank you. May I now call upon the member to the floor. Kindly let's allow Honorable Kodogo to make his comments.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, first and foremost, I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the hard work of the committee. That is, you are the chair, and the secretary to the committee, which is our honorable clerk, and our secretariats for the good job. Mr. Speaker,
we've had the members who are not in the committee acknowledging and also Honorable Speaker supporting this approval. Mr. Speaker, this decision did not just come over the night. We sat down as the committee. We've interrogated Honorable Speaker each and every member who was brought before us. Honorable Speaker, if we could have stood firm and follow particularly what each member did, Honorable Speaker, then today we would have a very different report in this House. I must be, Honorable Speaker, kind and sincere enough to the people of Tana. Honorable Speaker, the oversight role and representation lies within our roles as the members of County Assembly. If today, Honorable Speaker, we will be subjecting the nominees for not doing their job, then, Honorable Speaker, that will result as being, Honorable Speaker, shifting blames to the CECs. Because, Honorable Speaker, when we talk of representation, what is the meaning of representation? We represent the people who elected us. We are representing Tana River County at large. That's why we are coming from all parts of Tana. That's why we've been assembled here. That is the meaning of county assembly. The assembly itself, Honorable Speaker, means that it's a collective people from different corners which assemble together for one purpose. We are assembling here for the purpose of service delivery to our people. Then representation, Honorable Speaker, and oversight is one thing. When we talk of the burdens in the executive, then we should ask ourselves, what is our role? People have talked about a nominee who was impeached before, and then shuffled and transferred to the other department within the county. But this House has all the rights, Honorable Speaker, to stop the budget of that department if we feel that the governor has offended us. But, Honorable Speaker, we let the things go, and at the end of the day, we come together, Honorable Speaker, complaining. Nobody forced us, not the governor, not the people of Tana River. Honorable Speaker, we've said because so and so was transferred from that department, and she's now currently in this department, let us give the budget. And we were there, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Masha was there, Honorable Kodogo was there, Honorable Musa was there, Honorable Katisha was there, Honorable Gabo was there. And I want today publicly, Honorable Said Kura was there, Honorable Fatuma Badala was there. And Honorable Speaker, I want to publicly today confess that the second assembly are the ones that failed the people of Tana River. Because we've been divided into tribal lines, Honorable Speaker. And I thank my great people of the Romani Ward for electing me to come and rectify the mistake that I did in the second assembly. Honorable Speaker, I want to assure you, and I want to assure the people of Tana River, we've nominated these people and approved the nominations, not because they are good, but because we've seen that we are the doers and we were the ones who made Honorable Speaker the executive not work. But today, we've agreed
that it should not be the business as usual. Honorable Speaker, I want to tell you, and I want to tell the people of Tana that the buck stops with us. If we mean we stand for them, we will stand for them. If you look in the social media today, Honorable Speaker, the circulation of the rankings of the counties, the 44 counties, we are second, Honorable Speaker, from behind. Second from bottom. Just sitting, Honorable Speaker, people will, Honorable Speaker, it's so sad and shameful. We cannot blame the governor. We can't. When the governor fails, Honorable Speaker, we are the ones who failed the governor. Because the articles of constitution, the County Government Acts, the Honorable Speaker, PFM, Public Finance Management Act are very clear. We are the watchdogs. When the services, Honorable Speaker, are going the way it is now, people will ask, where are our elected and nominated members of County Assembly? We cannot exclude ourselves, Honorable Speaker, from those blames. We are the ones to make county executive work. But Honorable Speaker, it seems that some of us here, including me, Honorable Speaker, we are just working for ourselves. We are not working for the interest of the people of Tana. But Honorable Speaker, this House, with the blessings of God, we're united. We have, Honorable Speaker, sat and we have agreed to bury our differences, our trade lines, Honorable Speaker, and work for the people of Tana. And I want to assure, Honorable Speaker, because I've seen comments, Honorable Speaker, people telling us the forests are the same, the monkeys the same. That means the CECs are the same, the officers are the same, the assembly is the same. But I want to tell and I want to assure the people of Tana that we have to leave legacy. We have people here who have been elected for 25 years. We have Honorable, our able alderman here, whom we respect most, Honorable Tana, who has been elected for 25 years. We have Honorable Masha. Honorable Masha was elected as a councillor, and now is working for this third term. We have Honorable Musa, who has worked, is here for his third term. We have Honorable Lina, who was nominated in the first assembly. We have Honorable Said Kori and Honorable Abadana and Honorable Ismail Kodogo, who are working for the second term run. We must leave legacy, Honorable Speaker. And we cannot leave legacy if we are not united, Honorable Speaker. We must unite and work for the people of Tana. So, Honorable Speaker, today, I repeat, I want to confess to this House. It's not the making of the CECs, nor the chief officers. It's the making of this House. It's our fault that Tana River is not doing well in terms of service delivery. Honorable Speaker, my last point is about the health department. The health department has issues, but when we come to budgeting, Honorable Speaker, we've only budgeted 95 million, Honorable Speaker, for drugs for the whole year. 12 months, Honorable Speaker, 95 million shillings. That money is so small. Honorable Speaker, how many dispensaries do we have in this country? How many mini hospitals do we have in this county? Honorable Speaker, how many county level 4 hospitals do we have in this county? 95 million shillings. Honorable Speaker, compared to the needs of this county, is very small. Let us criticize the department, but let us also look at what we've been allocating to that department. So, Honorable Speaker, before going, Honorable Speaker, deep into all those that have been said, Honorable Speaker, I've not heard Honorable Masha talking. Because, Honorable Speaker, here we are on the side of the government. We've taken responsibility to support the government issues, but not forgetting, Honorable Speaker, the aspect of representation, legislation, and oversight. But the other side, Honorable Speaker, is mandated, Honorable Speaker, to look at the government and tell the government where the government goes wrong. People should not come here and sit. This is not a mosque, nor a church. Perform your duties, and as the government, we are ready to work with you and deliver to the people of Tana. Honorable Speaker, with those few remarks, I support the report. Thank you.
Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mine is to thank members at this juncture for their support, their contribution into the support for this report. As mentioned earlier, it has not been easy. Today, the public has to know, even as we are approving these nominees, we had to make a great sacrifice. Members had to make a great sacrifice. Even as most of us have contributed here and talked about the regional imbalance, which was supposed to have been looked into by His Excellency the Governor. But as I said, we have made this sacrifice because there are lots of things we have looked at and weighed. Already 1 year is almost gone. Other counties have put their systems into place, like the CECMs. They have already put them into place, but others, we are doing it 8 months after election. And that is why today I know that the public is wondering why we are doing this. We are also doing it for the sake of the community and the county, because we cannot keep on. We cannot keep on having to tell the governor, bring us new names, and the names that are brought are almost the same. So today we are making this sacrifice, and the governor should know that we are not doing this in vain. We are not doing this in vain. We have done our part, and let him also do his part. During inauguration of these officers, it should come out very clearly about their roles. Because many a times, okay, we are vetted, they qualify, but many a times, like when you hear about the finance department meeting the Senate, and what they go through becomes an embarrassing to the whole country and county. You wonder whether these people were taken through induction courses or not. So it is for us. We want us to be part of that induction. As he's inaugurating his new cabinet, we want to be part of this induction so that we are sure they are getting the right, their roles are clearly spelled out. Such, the finance officer must know his role of reporting. It's very, very unfortunate that we have become like the laughing stock of the whole country. So today we are putting in place this system of CECMs, but as mentioned, it will not be business as usual, and we want to request the governor, please give us the space to do our work. With those few remarks, I would wish thank you for the support, and let us all support this. Yeah, even as the chief officers, we are expecting the chief officers. We are hoping the governor will cover the gap for those areas that have been left out, where there has been regional imbalance. We are hoping the governor will cover that gap up, so that when he talks about us supporting one another, then the support should be two-way, not one-way. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, sir, and I hope all of us, as we have indicated, have supported this report. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Honourable members, may I now put the question that taking into consideration the findings of the Committee on Appointments in its report on the voting of nominees for the position of County Executive Committee members laid on the table of the House today, Tuesday, April 25th, 2023 at 12:05 p.m. and pursuant to the provisions of Article 179(2)(b) of the Constitution and Section 4 and 7 of the Public Appointments County Assemblies Approval Act, this House approves the nomination of the following nominees. 1. Bwana Juma Aboka Yeribaye as the CEC member for Lands, Agriculture, Livestock, Veterinary, Fisheries and Cooperative Development. 2. Matthew Barbara Beer as the CEC member for Environment and Climate Change. 3. Stephen Washira Kariuki as the CEC member for Roads, Transport, Public Works, Housing and Urbanization. 4. Abbas Kundo as the CEC member for Education, Youth, Sports, Gender and Social Services. 5. Yahya Ali Boro as the CEC member for Trade, Tourism and Industrialization. 6. Hadija Harifa Algi as the CEC member for Water, Energy, Mining, Wildlife and Natural Resources. 7. Abdullah Hanti Kanchoro as the CEC member for Public Service Management, Administration, Devolution, Information Communication Technology, Protocol and Public Communication. 8. Brenda Mocheche Mokaya as the CEC member for Finance and Economic Planning. And 9. Joshua Kofa Jara as the CEC member for Health, Medical Services and Sanitation. Honorable members, will as many of the these opinions say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinions say nay? The ayes have it. Next motion. Deputy Majority Leader. Order number 10, procedural motion. Deputy Majority Leader. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to table this procedural motion that pursuant to the order 26, section 4, this House resolves to adjourn today, Tuesday, 25th April 2023, until Tuesday, 9th May 2023 at 9:30 a.m. And Mr. Speaker, this is basically because the appointment committee is supposed to go for further training in Nairobi, and also on 3rd, 4th, and 5th, there will be a meeting at Bomas of all the MCs in all the 47 counties to discuss issues to do with their welfare. Therefore, I would like to ask Honorable Abu to second the motion. Second. Honorable Abu. Honorable members, I now propose that pursuant to Standing Order 26(4), this House resolves to adjourn today, Tuesday, 25th April 2023, until Tuesday, 9th May 2023 at 9:30 a.m. The floor is open for debate, members. Honorable Kodada.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I stand to support the motion. Mr. Speaker, having in mind that the training that has already been mentioned by the Deputy Leader of Majority has been scheduled for Thursday. So we've resolved in the House Business Committee that the traveling date will be tomorrow. So, Honorable Speaker, and the other week, as has been said, it's about the all MCs in this country coming together for their own welfare, Honorable Speaker. That is about our security. We've had one of our fellow members who was stabbed to death by an MP. We have, Honorable Speaker, the issue of taxation, Honorable Speaker. In Kenya, Honorable Speaker, we are the ones, Honorable Speaker, we are the grassroots leaders who, Honorable Speaker, will liberalize us. The first person that the Mwananchi could run to, Honorable Speaker, are the members of the county assembly. But when you look, Honorable Speaker, at our payslip, you'll be surprised, Honorable Speaker, with a salary of 86,000 Kenya shillings, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, people are seeing us, Honorable Speaker, well dressed and moving around with vehicles, but we don't know the background of being an MCA. So it's high time for us, Honorable Speaker, to stand our ground and tell the Kenyans and also the SRC what? The SRC and even Honorable Speaker, the CAF, that with due respect, Honorable Speaker, you are a member, that we need change. And Honorable Speaker, I foresee that the change is coming for us. So Honorable Speaker, maybe on another point, Honorable Speaker, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the human rights activists in our county because they have been in forefront, Honorable Speaker. When they see, Honorable Speaker, something wrong in our counties, they come forward, Honorable Speaker, and share with this assembly. You've seen, Honorable Speaker, them, Honorable Speaker, demonstrating against maybe they wanted the nominees not to be approved. But Honorable Speaker, I want to take this opportunity to tell them, Honorable Speaker, to bear with us, and Honorable Speaker, let them, Honorable Speaker, come forward and we work together. We are all working for the one purpose, and the purpose is serving the great people of Tana. For those few remarks, Honorable Speaker, I stand to support the motion. Thank you.
Honorable members, the House stands adjourned until Tuesday, 9th May 2023 at 9:30 a.m.